Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a very funny clip to share with you. Nick Viall's podcast, Viall Files, had a Real Housewife of Orange County on, Vicki, and she was a hot mess. As she ended the interview, she forgot to turn her audio off, and they eavesdropped for about a minute as she sort of bashed Nick and said, I don't even know the guy. I was doing someone a favor. Who is he? What's his name? It's kind of very interesting. It reminds me of what might happen to my parents if they didn't know how to use FaceTime. But either way, I'm going to jump right into it. And oh boy, do you like my seasonal background here? Oh, we've really stepped it up at the Recap Center here in Nashville, Tennessee. Tis the season. So let's go to the drama. Tis the season for drama here on Nick's podcast. And by the way, she started the interview with such bad energy. I mean, it's insane. It's like, why? It's like, don't waste anyone's time. Cancel the interview. She was like, oh, I'm doing you a favor, blah, blah, blah. It's like, who the hell are you? Again, this is Real Housewives of Orange County's Vicki Gunvalson.
You guys are okay. There you are.
Vicki, you're calling from the beach.
Recording in progress.
You guys owe me on this one.
We owe
Are you
you.
in Cancun?
Because I canceled it and I didn't know that they didn't cancel it, and I'm got my 400 meetings today. So
Hot mess. So she's complaining about her meetings while she's on the beach in Cancun.
Well, wait, how do we owe you, Vicki?
well, just because I'm doing this and I don't want to be doing this right now. I'm very, very busy.
So Nick does a great job here of getting her to elaborate. If anyone's ever passive aggressive to you, just ask them to clarify what they're saying, and chances are they're going to sound even more ridiculous. So Nick goes, "Excuse me, how do we owe you a favor? Like, what do we?"
Oh, well, didn't we have this booked in the calendar for like weeks?
Well, no, there was a disconnect and they were supposed to have canceled it, and
Who's they?
my staff.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you guys didn't get it till Friday when I confirmed that, I can't meet with them because I'm here in Mexico and I have 3 closings today. And anyway, I'm making it work.
Do you want to go?
We can let you go. You're
No, listen, I just rearranged to sit here for a second 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour, whatever. But I'm not made up. I don't have makeup on.
I don't have makeup on either, Vicki.
I'm on the beach. I don't have my podcast stuff, so just bear with me, okay? I'm doing my best.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, okay. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Then they go into were you guys all right for Thanksgiving? Did you have cranberry sauce? Did your family enjoy your cranberry sauce? So it goes on, and again, just the strange energy, but we'll get to the fun part.
It's a little time. I'm doing this as a favor, I guess. And I'm sorry that we weren't scheduled correctly, but I told 2 weeks ago, I can't do this day. And somehow she missed it.
Oh, somebody's getting fired. Yeah, she's throwing her assistant under the bus. This sounds like a horrible person to work for, Vicki Gunvalson. I've never heard of her before. She surely has never heard of me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's a fan. Have you checked your Spotify top 5 list? By the way, I do have to say this. So many people have told me that we are their #1 podcast on Spotify. Thank you so much. Even Jason Tartik, and I'm not lying, I'll show Patreon the DM. Jason Tartik just told me that I am his mom's favorite podcast. So thank you so much, Madam Mrs. Tartik. Not Madam, Mrs. Tartik here. Appreciate all the support. So anyway, they do the interview. That's really neither here nor there. If you want to go find out how her Thanksgiving was, which is just the most hilarious, really funny stuff here. So you can go check that out. And now this is the part where she says bye and doesn't turn the audio off. I'm going to let it play. It's in its entirety. You can watch everybody cringe with us.
I'm casting.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
That was a favor to her dad because he's got 7 million
Oh, good.
views.
That helps. Will you need him?
I'm a major.
Will he be at the Herd Ad deal, the Christmas deal?
So this guy on his own network.
Mm-hmm.
I was a guest on his show.
Or no, but he doesn't Herd Ad sponsor?
Producer. No, he has his own network, his own show, his
Okay.
own thing.
Okay.
I never heard of him.
His last name.
Nick Viall. It was like, oh my God, I know him. I'm like, oh, who he is.
You didn't say that on the show.
Oh, it's so beautiful out here.
It's nice.
God.
I was talking to these people here. They were going.
Are they?
I am at a loss for words.
They do say
I was, like,
OC's
scrambling to
a cast
figure
of
out.
women that don't know how to hang up the phone.
I
They just put it down on the
started
table.
sweating so incredibly bad. I'm not kidding. My hands.
I'm unwell.
That was
the best
that
thing
was-
I've ever
Well, she
experienced.
that was
kinda-
Shannon.
Well, if that's the best thing you've ever experienced, you should probably travel more. But either way, I understand the point. So I actually didn't have this pulled up. So if you give me a second here, I'm going to get to what TMZ had to say, because TMZ actually covered the story that it looks like she approved them airing this, because a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, how are they sharing this? They're throwing her under the bus. And they're saying, no, he asked her, hey, you forgot to hang up the phone. Can we air what you said? And I guess she said, yeah, no worries. The Real Housewives of Orange County tells TMZ she gave her blessing for Nick's podcast team to use the now viral recording where she forgot to hang up the call after their interview. She tells us Nick's side reached out before making the clip public, and she played it cool. She says she honestly couldn't remember what she said because she thought she'd already hung up. So go to town. Yeah, I mean, that's what's so funny is like, she just seems to be the type that just lives in her own world, and who cares, you know? Which, by the way, probably makes for great TV. Definitely doesn't make for a great boss.
Hot, like on the phone, and Tamara's like,
So when she texts you, are you gonna do your part of the favor? Just send her that clip right there.
I didn't know you had a podcast.
Nick Viall, I think is his name.
Nick Vials.
Never heard of the guy, but he has his own network. I don't know, 7 million views, or I don't know.
I know the statistics.
Oh my God, Vicki never changed.
She
never.
is
We love you,
an
Vicki.
icon. I'm sweating. I really am profusely sweating. I'm not okay.
My hands are
That
That
also
gave
sweating.
me really bad anxiety. I was waiting for her to clock back in and be like, oh my God.
She never did.
No, no, it's really beautiful out here. Oh, we're just keep going.
She just
Wow.
keeps just no breath.
She's
love it.
she's
I love her.
incredible.
Vicky, thank you
Vicky.
for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And good on Nick for airing it. You know, some people have the type of ego where they wouldn't want it to be known that they're not known. But it seems Nick, like any smart person on the internet, knows that a scenario like that is only going to give him more press. Really, no such thing as bad press in that instance. All right, and speaking of press, we love to use our platform to share the moms in our lives, specifically our community here at the Rush Hour Podcast and Bachelor Nation News. We love to share the single moms that can use our help. We have a Christmas wish list, and I'm going to share today's single mom. Her daughter is named Essie. She sent us a voicemail as to why we could help her make Christmas all the better. You know, single moms have it hard enough out there being a mom, and also, you know, getting Santa Claus to help out is never easy, and we love that our community is doing just that. Here is a voicemail from Maria calling from the East Coast.
Hey, Dave. My name is Maria, and I'm calling from the East Coast. I just first want to say thank you so much for every single year advocating for single moms. You know, as a single mom that works and is trying to better herself in school and be everly present for my daughter and all of her wonderful activities, we rarely stop to think about, you know, this enormous task of doing it all and being the number one fan and provider for our children. So for you to take time, especially during the holidays, it
stop.
can be, you know, really struggling, challenging time, you know, to provide for presents, and also kind of lonely if, you know, you don't have that family support or the other parent support, as is my case. So I really feel seen and understood when you speak up for us during this time. So I want to thank you for that. A little bit about my daughter. Her name's Essie, and she's in middle school, and just a wonderful, wonderful kid. She loves math, theater, singing, and, you know, just being a happy-go-lucky kid. So thank you very much. You know, even a present or two, it goes so far to help me during this time. And, yeah, thank you so much, Dave, or as my daughter calls you, Mr. Neal. Have a great Christmas with your family and Augie.
That's Maria calling from the East Coast. So, you know, this is how we get you, folks. I bait you in with some Nick Viall YouTube videos, and then we slap some real life onto you. You know, I remember, must have been my 7th or 8th Christmas. My sister and I would sit at the top of the stairs waiting to see if it was okay to come down. And my mom would take forever making coffee, but she was probably setting up presents and stuff. Oh, the coffee's not ready yet. And she's tinkering with whatever. You don't realize as a kid the sort of effort that goes into that. You know, not just the time equity, you know, the time it takes to be a parent and this and that, but the effort that goes into just providing, you know, getting Santa Claus through the door. And I remember, you know, I got like a red robe, got this little kind of RC, you know, shitty little, whatever the hell it was, you know, race car, hockey stick, hockey puck, fishing. And at the time you're like, oh, this is great, whatever. But in hindsight, you look back and you go, how did she afford this? And the truth is, sometimes it's just good people. And she didn't have the internet. She didn't, you know, but there were people that I'm sure stepped up to help her, you know, very much the same way I know a lot of you guys are stepping up to help our audience. We actually had someone, the gifts are already coming in. We're only on day 4. And someone actually wrote into the podcast, to the Patreon page. I might not be able to pull it up right here, but she wrote in, oh my gosh, someone already bought. So like when you do this single mom wish list, if you were to say, buy one of these presents, you know, there's different, you know, everything from $10 items to $50 items, you know, fun kid body lotion with clever bath bombs, rollerblades, roller skates, whatever. There's a little something, you know, it's all customized. But when you buy something, it goes directly to the mom. You know, there's I'm not touching anything, no middleman or anything like that. But I did hear from somebody that said, I'm trying to figure out what they said here, that their Stanley Cup was received that for their kid, and they were just like crying because they couldn't believe people are actually doing this. And you know, hey, they are, and we appreciate them. I actually have a single mom wish list comment section on the Patreon. That's, I believe, public to get into, patreon.com/Dave Neal. So either way, if you do want to be a part of this and you've got extra money, or, you know, want to be a part of our fun single mom, sort of project we have going on here, the full list, everybody, I'll post a link in the comment section. They're all available. So we're only on day 4. We're on Maria, but they're all available, and their kids' ages and all of the wish lists are there. So you can knock them out right now if you want to. We really appreciate all of the support we're getting with this. You know, you know, everything you do is for a selfish reason, one way or another. And it just brings me a lot of joy. It brings me a lot of joy to see that people will come together. And, you know, the first year we did a donation, we did Toys for Tots, and we raised $10,000. And it was fun to have that like quantifiable amount that we raised, but then the money just goes to Toys for Tots. You don't know where it's going. I'm sure it's going to people's kids, but the photos that we're going to be getting and sharing of all of the people in our community getting that help directly, I think that's the best way to encourage others to continue to donate as well, because we get to see that instant payoff, which is always fantastic. So there's your update. Thank you for sticking around. I baited you in here with this Nick Viall story, but hey, maybe it'll lead to a good cause. Real funny story nonetheless, though. Good for them. Do you know how big our podcast is? And by the way, I'll say this. If I had to, like, no offense to Nikki, I had to Google her. Net worth says she's worth $7 million. I guarantee Nick's worth more than that. I would much more likely put my stock in Nick versus her as far as future earning potential. That podcast is making a ton of money. Hey, good for them. All right, that's it for me. We'll be back with more on the afternoon rush hour. If you haven't been a part of it, you can scan that QR code, and we'll have all of your entertainment and pop culture news right there. Bye-bye now.